to our health talk segment, because this particular segment is sponsored by the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce. That is the organization that I am a part of as Director of Membership. And we have one of our members here in studio, Miss Glen Alex with the Massage Advantage. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you in here.
I'm excited to be here.
And I love that you're sandwiched right back to back with the nonprofit segment, because you have your own nonprofit, an incredible foundation, the Glen Alex Foundation, that we'll talk about here shortly.
Okay.
So I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the altruistic love bubbling up right now. So, but you're a massage therapist. That's what your day job is.
Yes, it is. I'm a massage therapist, and I love it.
Yeah. So tell me a little about it. Tell me about the Massage Advantage. Why massage therapy, and what are you known for? What do you specialize in massage therapy?
Well, I've always believed in healthy touch. You know, in this world, we can be harsh and mean and hurtful to each other, and just to have that loving touch is so powerful, and it can be so healing. So I've always been attracted to that. And so I finally decided to just put everything else aside and go to massage school back in 2002. So I've been in the business for 13 years. It's very gratifying. I love helping people facilitate their own healing. And I specialize in therapeutic massage, which is kind of an eclectic sort of techniques to address the issue. Unfortunately, a lot of clients will say, well, I hurt here, so massage me here. And I'm like, no. That may be the area of pain, but it's not necessarily the source of pain. So I will look for the source of the pain to give full relief. And that's therapeutic massage. And I also specialize in sports massage. I work a lot with professional and recreational athletes.
So now, why is that? I see a lot when I follow you on Facebook, check out your website, and I stalk you from afar. I see a lot of famous tennis people, a lot of tennis rackets and tape that you're putting on people and things like that. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, in 2006, we had a professional tennis tournament here in town, the Tennis Channel Open. I was fortunate enough to be able to work that event and work with the players. And I met Bob and Mike Bryan there, the #1 doubles team in the history of professional tennis.
Wow.
And they invited me to travel with them.
Holy cow.
I traveled with them as their personal massage therapist for over 3 years.
You must have given them one darn good massage at the Tennis Open.
Must have.
Glenn,
it must have been.
Come travel with me. Bring that magic tape that you have and tape me up and rub me down. I'm ready to win and take on the world.
Well, there must have been something to it, because Mike Bryan in a victory speech called me the best hands in the business.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why you see a lot
huge
of names.
compliment.
I know. I'm ready to book right now. I wonder if that'll make me a better tennis player.
Yes.
Well,
It will. It will. Practice would help too, but yes.
So I've met a lot of professional tennis players and other professional athletes along the way. Currently, I do work for the WTA and on the women's side at 3 tournaments a year.
What does WTA stand for us?
Women's Tennis Association.
Women's tennis. That makes
Serena's
sense.
WTA player.
Oh,
Yes.
nice. So you've met a lot of really interesting folks then.
I have.
Very cool. So tell me about that tape thing, because I saw a really powerful testimonial that someone shared with you just a couple of weeks ago, and I shared it onto the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce page because it was so interesting. What's with the tape on the folks, on that handsome gentleman, and he wasn't working, he wasn't functioning, and then all of a sudden you get your hands on him and he's like, yes. Glenn, I feel amazing. I can play tennis again.
Yes. Well, kinesio tape has been in Japan, I think, for over 30 years now. It's relatively new to us. We've just, in America, started using it like in the last 8-10 years. I was introduced to it. I used it on myself. I went to training for it, and it is awesome stuff. It's just high-grade cotton fabric with surgical glue. There's no chemical, no medicine or anything on it. So there are 1,200 applications, and depending on the application, the tension, and the direction of the taping, it calls the body to fix itself. By moving out fluid to the lymph nodes, and it drains out of the body. That takes the pain with it, and then the good blood flow, good fluid can come in and fix the area.
So what type of injuries or what type of trouble have you found it to be effective for? Can you give me a couple of ideas for folks that are out there?
The shoulder injury. That particular person who did the testimonial was a tennis player. He injured himself serving, and so he had kind of a frozen shoulder, and he had no range of motion basically, and a lot of pain. So we did the kinesio taping over a series of 3 weeks, along with therapeutic and sports massage, and it got better. And so it works on that. I've had some success with clients who've had meniscus surgery.
Okay.
There's still a lot of pain afterwards, and so there's a taping for that that'll take the pressure off the knee, and then they can be mobile without pain.
And bring a lot of functionality back without a lot of
Absolutely.
drugs and without a
Absolutely.
lot of additional surgeries, perhaps.
And more side effects.
And do you find that when folks, even after they get surgery or they go through therapies, when they're not moving and functioning right, do you find that they're more likely to re-injure themselves or maybe get a different injury in another part of their body because they're overcompensating? Or
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The body will compensate to try to keep some kind of balance, which may not be good for the other areas.
Okay.
What I find the most with people post-surgery, though, is they just give up their activity.
Yeah,
And that, to me, is tragic.
it is.
That's tragic, yeah. So, do you work with like chiropractors as well, or do you just...
Or other medical doctors?
Not directly. We
Okay.
do cross-refer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. If you've got other, doctors that are referring to you, that's a good thing. Can we talk a little bit about your foundation, the Glen Alex Foundation? Because I find that to be just really interesting. How did that start, and what is it all about? What is the Glen Alex Foundation's goal to serve?
Well, like the previous guest, I've always been a helper. I don't like to advertise that, but I just believe in helping other people, especially other people who need the help. So that's kind of always been my mindset. And I would volunteer for different organizations throughout my lifetime. And then in 2009, I decided, you know what? I don't see this being done as far as the screenings and early interventions for the 4 big diseases in this country: prostate cancer, kidney failure, hypertension, and diabetes. And I said something needs to be done. And of course, I'm a huge tennis fan. And I thought that tennis is a great avenue towards cardiovascular and physical fitness. It's also good for socialization, self-confidence, and many other traits.
Yeah, I find that there's nothing like a good backhand to relieve a lot of stress and tension.
Or an overhead.
Yeah,
just
smashing that ball. So tell me what your foundation does then. It's involved with tennis. Do you have tennis tournaments to raise money, to raise awareness?
We do have tennis is a main component. We have tennis and wellness.
Okay.
So the tennis part is to get people out, get them physically active, get them engaged in their own health in that way.
Okay.
So we do have tennis events. We have 2 a year. We just had one this past Saturday at Red Rock Country Club.
Okay.
It was a team tennis event. We had almost 40 players. We had a catered lunch by a great lady who volunteers for me every year. But
Shout her out. What's her name?
She won't let me mention her.
Oh, darn
She's
it.
so humble.
Look at
She
that.
won't
Look
even-
at that. That's
yes.
true charity, right?
She will do it, and she says she wants no accolades for it.
Oh, well, God bless her,
So
you little angel
I
out
have
there.
to thank her privately.
We're sending you some karmic love. Perfect. So Red Rock Country Club, that's kind of fancy.
It's one of the best country clubs in the area.
That's amazing.
And
So
the staff and everyone there is very nice.
So it was a successful event. A lot of folks that played, enjoyed, ate
Yes.
some food.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Healthy food, I bet.
Of course.
Of course.
Homemade is always healthier.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yes.
It is, it is. So
Depends which home.
Good point.
that's true. I saw your little frying setup on your stovetop at home,
Exactly.
Mr. Weinberger.
But you have to admit, my barbecues are pretty good.
They are. The barbecues are fantastic, socially and for good food-wise, especially if you invite healthy people to bring taboolies and things like that. So, all right, back to Glen Alex. All right, so Glen Alex, the Massage Advantage. You were one of the founding members of the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce. You renewed your membership at the beginning of the year before
Yes.
I even came on as a director.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that. What was your thought with why did you want to join the chamber? Why did you renew? What are your hopes for the continuity of health, wellness, and fitness professionals in the Valley as it regards to the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I was introduced to the chamber in the fall of 2013. And I met the previous executive director.
Mindy?
And, yes, and so she was just so enthusiastic, and she was very patient with me and my questions, and explained what the chamber was all about. And I said, this sounds like a pretty cool organization. I'm not really a group person, but I said I like the idea of this. I like what I see as far as to set up the professionalism and the different types of people and businesses that are involved in it. So I joined. Yeah. And we had our socials throughout the year. I just felt very connected to the business community in a very positive way. Met some very loving, healthy, inspiring people along the way. So I renewed. And
That's awesome. I
met
appreciate
you.
that.
And
Yes. I fell in
And it
love
continues.
with you immediately. And no, it's been really great. In fact, Rowena Kua was one of the first people that before I'd even met you, had talked about you, and
okay.
I think that's really what the chamber is all about.
Yes.
And really why we form those social connections through the foundation, through our businesses. Folks on a mission. We band together. We can get a lot more done together than we can singularly.
Takes a village.
It does. So I'm definitely looking forward to your next event that you have coming up. I'd love to find out about that before it comes up, so we can help advertise it for
Okay.
the next fundraiser and
Okay.
help you out with that public awareness. Clearly, that's what we're doing here on the radio.
Yes.
So we've got a couple minutes left of the interview. I would love if there's anything that we haven't covered yet that you'd like to talk about, any message that you want to share with folks. Let's get to it.
Okay. Well, the primary message that I want to share today is that most people think of massage as a luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Massage is a necessity.
I can agree with that.
It's an integral part of health. Just think of back pain, low back pain in particular. Over 80% of those cases involve the muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Muscles are what massage therapists do.
Yeah.
So if it involves the muscles, then massage is totally appropriate. And so I would implore everyone to consider that when they have a stiff neck or a soreness and the doctor wants to prescribe a muscle relaxant.
Yeah.
That's what a massage will do. And not only relax the muscle, but probably fix the problem as well.
And not toxify your body.
And not toxify your body and create other side effects.
Yeah,
So
and
consider massage a necessity. It may seem expensive on the face, but the value you get from it is far outweigh any medication, I think.
So how often do you recommend that the normal average Joe out there gets a massage? Where should we start out, or what's the ideal?
It depends on lifestyle, stress levels, and obviously finances. I would say for a very active person, I would say at least once a month.
Okay.
And for someone who has a stressful lifestyle, maybe once every 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
But that's something you can address with the therapist directly.
Yeah, I think one of the nice things about a massage, besides the physical help they can do, is that, it's nice just to relax, because we're all in this rut,
Yes.
and just to take an hour and a half just
Yes.
to do nothing is actually always good in itself.
And that peace of mind also opens the door for your body to heal itself.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can find out more information about the Massage Advantage at the massageadvantage.com.
LV.com.
Oh, massageadvantagelv.com. Thank you for that correction. The good news is if I ever have to find your website, I just go to the Las Vegas
go to
Health
the
and Fitness
directory.
Chamber of Commerce directory, and I click right from there. I scroll through till I see your hands, because that's what we used for your logo. I snipped out your logo with your hands massaging someone on it. Those are actually Glen Alex's hands.
Those are my hands.
Those famous in the world of tennis and beyond hands. And you can get a hold of Glen Alex through that, through the directory, through the massageadvantagelv.com. Do you have a studio where you do massage? Do you do massage on site in people's homes?
I have an office inside the Body Spa in West Charleston.
Okay.
And so clients will come there.
Okay.
I also do on-site chair massage for businesses. I'll go out and treat their employees to chair massage. And
Oh.
I'm also available to travel.
So where's it, West Charleston, or where in West Charleston?
8751 West Charleston.
Okay.
It's between Durango and Fort Apache, behind Carrabba's.
And can I ask on air what your rates are?
My rates are 1 hour massage is $75, but for 60 minutes. Some of the spas charge $80 for 50 minutes, which really is only a 40-minute massage.
Right.
And not only that, I spend time with the client after the massage, educating them about what I find and how they can do self-treatment at home.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I love it. That sounds
Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good deal. Is the website the best way to refer business to you, or should we call you on the telephone?
Probably a text
Okay.
or an email.
Okay. So what's your telephone number for the text?
My cell phone number is 702-807-7349, and my email address is tma, Tom Mary Apple, at massageadvantagelv.com.
Perfect.
Fantastic.